OCD, also known as obsessive-compulsive disorder, is characterized by unwanted repetitive thoughts and/or actions. Some noticeable characteristics include excessive hand-washing, hair loss, skin lesions, repeatedly checking to see if the doors are locked. There are some factors which may increase the risk of OCD. Having a family member with this disorder can increase risks because it is believed that OCD has a genetic component. If someone has an existing mental disorder related to OCD, such as anxiety disorders or depression, or if someone has experienced certain traumatic events or was exposed to a stressful situation, it can also increase chances of developing OCD. Generally, there are no certain personality types prone to OCD because every type can be susceptible to a disorder. However, a person who scores high on harm avoidance may develop ineffective coping strategies for managing stress. Since stress is a risk factor of OCD, they will increase chances of developing OCD. There are also particular personality traits associated with symptoms of OCD, such as perfectionism, indecisiveness, impulsivity, responsibility, and neuroticism. Although there is no way to prevent the onset of OCD, the best way to prevent a relapse is to stick to therapy and take any prescribed medication. Some tips to help people with OCD is to invest in self-care. This includes an element of self-actualization and encourages people with this disorder to exercise regularly, stay connected with friends and family, get enough sleep, and practice relaxation techniques when something triggers compulsions. Also, learning to resist OCD rituals will allow people with this disorder to manage and be in control of OCD. It is encouraged to not avoid fears because with repeated exposure, anxiety will lessen each time. Refocusing attention onto something else like reading or listening to music will also help reduce anxiety and keep the mind preoccupied from obsessions. There are some common signs and symptoms that may lead you to think that someone may be suffering from OCD. Some of these signs include having a fear of dirt or germs, over-concern with neatness and orderliness, preoccupation with counting or checking, hoarding objects, repeating certain activities, and frequently washing hands, showering, or overusing items to hide body smells. OCD is an interesting disorder, but what is the science behind the illness? Researchers have found that when someone has OCD, their brain's danger detection region is hypersensitive and therefore dramatically overreacts to certain triggers, which will launch massive, often panic-level, anxiety attacks. Simultaneously, the brain region that usually indicates safety is slow to give the signal that everything is okay. Also, the supraorbital cingulate thalamic circuit appears to be overactive in brain scans from people who suffer from OCD. It is said that 2 to 3% of people in late teens or 20s cross the line from normal preoccupations and fussiness to debilitating disorder. 2.3% of the population between 18 to 54 suffers from OCD, and 1 out of 200 adults have OCD. With OCD being relatively well known to people around the world, there are some myths about it, the most common being that OCD is very anti-germ and cleaning oriented. Concurrently, all neat freaks have OCD. Although an obsession with cleanliness is a sign of OCD, a cleanliness complex can just be a personality trait. There are other signs that indicate OCD that are not to do with cleaning. Another myth is that it is evident when someone has OCD, which is not true. There are some people with OCD who have not been diagnosed or realized that they have this disorder. Some hide their symptoms in public. There is a type of OCD called pure obsessional OCD, when compulsions are largely formed inside one's head and are not displayed physically. People also believe that OCD is rooted in childhood. Though OCD can occur during this period of development, it can develop any time in your life. Genetics and experience play a part in the development of OCD. The first resource is from the International OCD Foundation. It is a useful website which enables you to enter your location and it will display centres that could provide professional help for OCD. The second resource is from helpguide.org, which gives a detailed explanation of the disorder, its symptoms, and tips on how to cope with it. It is a useful informational tool for those who wish to be more informed on OCD. Historically, there have been many interesting treatments for OCD. In early centuries, OCD sufferers sought help mostly from the clergy. In the 1700s, Hannah Allen described how her doctor used bloodletting to treat her obsessive bad thoughts. Sometime in the late 1500s, an astrological healer named Richard Napier attempted to cure a woman's washing compulsion by determining her zodiac sign, positioning the symbols of the sun, moon, planets, and so forth. Around late 1600s, John Woodward claimed that the purgative treatment, such as laxatives and enemas, cured a woman's distressing thoughts about harming her child. Today, some celebrities who have lived with OCD include Daniel Radcliffe, Cameron Diaz, Leonardo DiCaprio, Megan Fox, and Justin Timberlake.